And bang! What is up, our Will Feel number one fans of Bill? Scott Casey here. Today, I'm gonna give you my recap and review of a 1989 personal comedy classic, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And later on, I'm gonna be reviewing the sequel, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and the newest sequel that came out in theaters last weekend on Amazon Prime, Bill and Ted Face the Music. But let's begin with the recap of the first one. See, I grew up on the Bill and Ted franchise. I first saw Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure back in 1989. I used to own it on VHS as well, along with Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which I first saw in 1991. I used to own on VHS. Then in 2003, I bought them on DVD. And I gotta say, like I said, though the Bill and Ted franchise are classics, and I rewatched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey on Amazon Prime last week, along with the newest one, Bill and Ted Face the Music. But I want to give you my thoughts on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which like I said, I think it is a great movie. Okay, let's begin with the recap, shall we? Here we go. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is a 1989 American science fiction comedy film directed by Stephen Herrick and written by Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon. The film is a part of the Bill and Ted franchise. It stars Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, and the late George Carlin. The plot follows slacker friends Bill and Ted, who travel through time to assemble historical figures for the high school history presentation. And here's the plot. In 2688, humanity exists as a utopian society due to the inspiration of the music and philosophy of the two great ones, Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan. One of the citizens, Rufus, is tasked by the leaders to travel back to San Dimas, California in 1988 using a time machine shaped like a phone booth to ensure that the young Bill and Ted, then dim-witted high school students, successfully pass a history class. Should they fail, Ted's father, Police Captain Logan, plans to ship Ted to a military academy in Alaska, ending Bill and Ted's fledgling band, the Wild Stallions, and altering history. Rufus finds two teenagers struggling to finish their history paper, which tasks them to describe how three historical figures would view the present San Dimas, trying to obtain help from customers. At a Circle K convenience store, Rufus initially has difficulty convincing the two of his help when a copy of the phone booth time machine arrives, and versions of Bill and Ted from some later time in the future step out. The future Bill and Ted briefly discuss their situation with Rufus before disappearing in the time machine. Rufus offers the remaining pair a demonstration of the time machine, taking them back to 1805, where they find Napoleon Bonaparte leading his forces against Austria. As Rufus, Bill and Ted depart back to the present, Napoleon is thrown by a cannonball explosion into the wake and is dragged through the circuits of the time to the present. Rufus takes a moment to explain that time will continue to progress normally for Bill and Ted, and they cannot miss their class presentation the next day, and then departs, leaving the empty time machine for the two. As Bill and Ted discuss where to go next, they discover Napoleon stuck in a nearby tree. This gives them the idea of kidnapping historical figures and bring them to the present to complete their report. They leave Napoleon with Ted's younger brother, the Deacon, before traveling. The two befriend Billy the Kid and Socrates before stopping the 15th century England, where they become infatuated with Princess Elizabeth and Joanna. This leads them to getting in trouble with their father, the king, but Billy and Socrates rescue the pair, and the four escape through the booth and is partially damaged on their departure. They end up in the far future discovering the society based on their influence, and are inspired to complete their report with extra credit by kidnapping additional historical figures. Sigmund Freud, Ludwig van Beethoven, Genghis Khan, Joan of Arc, and Abraham Lincoln. After a brief stop in the prehistorical times to repair the booth, Bill and Ted programmed the machine to return to the present, but end up outside the Circle K on the night before, where Rufus was introducing himself to them. Bill and Ted convinced their earlier selves of Rufus with his trustworthiness, and then reminded by Rufus how to get to them next day. When they arrive, they learn that Deacon has ditched Napoleon. They leave the other historical figures at the mall to learn about Sam Dimas, while they seek out Napoleon at a local water park. The historical figures get into trouble and are arrested by Captain Logan. Bill and Ted execute an escape plan based on using the time machine in the future to set up what they need in the present. With the historical figures recollected, the two give their presentation to the school, which is a rousing success, allowing them to pass the course. Sometime later, Rufus returns to Bill and Ted, presenting them with the two princesses before they were committed to pre-arranged marriages, noting that the two women will also be part of Wild Stallions. Rufus asks to join the group as they play, but upon hearing their the cacophony of music and the they do get better. And what a way to end Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This is definitely a classic movie. My favorite part in the movie is when Napoleon is going bowling and he trips and he misses and he says shit in French, which is a hilarious scene. I also loved Billy the Kid. I think he was a great historical figure in the movie along with Abraham Lincoln. And this movie is just pure comedy classic. Great songs like Two Heads Are Better Than and One, In Time. I mean, everything about this movie is great. And I think that Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter did an amazing job. And I think that the late George Clooney did an amazing job. So I would rate Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, an 8 Triple Plus, and a 10 out of 10. Comment down below in the comments. You tell me what you thought of this, about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. What did you like about the movie? And I will be back here in a bit to reveal Bill and Ted's Bogus Trinity, and then Bill and Ted Face the Music. Peace out.